Elimination Chamber predictions. I'm Will. That's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. As always, let's cheers. Talk about some wrestling.
Yeah, this is the at least the most fun pay-per-view to play in the video games.
Oh, yeah, by far.
This one is the best, easiest match, most fun. I'm loading up. I'm playing this right away. So this is a real exciting one.
Yeah, a lot is up in the air. A lot of clouds surrounding this one. By the way, if you want to come watch it with some friends who love some WWE, we will be live streaming it along with SmackDown on YouTube, COD WrestlePod, so come stop by that. It'll be a lot of fun. But let's get right into this. I kind of booked it how I think it's going to be booked. And I think that we're going to do what we do with the Royal Rumble, right? We're going to book in both sides.
Yeah.
Women's will start, men's will end. That's what I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, I would say probably so.
Yeah, so we'll start with the Women's Elimination Chamber match. We have Liv Morgan, newly crowned tag team champion. Phenomenal five-star match.
Much deserved.
Yeah. 5-star match. Go watch our Raw review if you want to know our thoughts on that. But we have Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Bayley, and Naomi in the Women's Elimination Chamber. Who do you got? Who do you got women? Who do you got winning? We stuttering today. Who do you have winning the Women's Elimination Chamber match?
Yeah, I think there's two choices here. I think there's two clear-cut choices in both chambers, really. I think that it's either this person or this person. I think either you go Liv Morgan or you go with my pick. I'm going Bianca Belair. You kind of threw that idea out there originally a while back. You think there's going to be some sort of triple threat, possibly. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to just ride the coattails. I'm jumping on the bandwagon of that one, at least that original thought process here. I don't really see Liv winning here for the idea of the potential of like the double champ that's kind of always out there. I don't really see that happening. I think you've got Naomi, who's going to get kind of surrounded and clouded in some of the Jade stuff here. You got Bayley and Roxanne. Those two kind of cancel each other out. You've got Alexa. We don't really have a lot on Alexa. Like, yeah, she's back. That's awesome. That's great. Just don't really see it happening. And we have, who was the one I did not mention? No, I guess that is everybody. So, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to say Bianca, but at the same time, if you said Liv Morgan, I'm not going to sit here and hold your feet to the fire on that one.
For weeks, I've been telling myself that the winner of the tag team title match on Raw is going to lose the Elimination Chamber. That's the reason they give them the title, right? So if Bianca won, she ain't winning. If Liv won, she ain't winning. Flipping that on its head. After I saw Liv Morgan win, and after I saw the promo package before the tag team title match and how much that focused on Jade Cargill, I have to go with Liv Morgan winning the Elimination Chamber because I think whether or not Jade shows up at Chamber or beforehand, I think Naomi and Bianca are going to be involved in the Jade Cargill stuff. I think we might get a triple threat match at WrestleMania with that. Something's going to go down that line. I don't think any of these other women really have any clear path to Rhea. Like we have 1 month after. I don't know if you can really build it. Liv Morgan has been doing the work all year long. I know that people are going to be a little bit like, when you throw her back at Rhea. But I mean, WrestleMania big time matches are given to people who really earn them. That's why we now see Jey Uso sitting in the main event scene of WrestleMania, right? Liv Morgan has absolutely earned this. I think that she wins the Elimination Chamber here. Now, if you want to just go and fantasy book how the rest of this match goes, I do think that we get Roxanne probably lasting till the final two with also like kind of how they did with the Royal Rumble. I think she definitely pins Bayley. Okay, no matter what, I think Roxanne pins Bayley. I think they either do that to set up a match at Stand and Deliver. Is that the last one, like right between WrestleMania? Yep. Or they do get a WrestleMania match out of that, which would be phenomenal here. But I think that Alexa Bliss, I don't know what happens with her. I really don't know. But I think that Wyatt Six stuff is going to come into picture there. I don't know what that means for her. I don't know if we get like the lights go crazy and Alexa Bliss just disappears type deal. I don't know.
That's kind of what I was just thinking. Like, there's no clear-cut path for her, and that's maybe the biggest question. Obviously, people are going to be like, well, who wins is the biggest question. Well, like, Alexa Bliss hasn't really done anything since returning. Obviously, she got a little bit of a promo package. I could see some sort of lights flickering out, goes out, and she just, like, exits the chamber.
Yeah.
Like, something like that.
Like mind control?
Yeah, like she doesn't take a pin necessarily.
Bingo.
Because you don't need her to really take the pin. Also, who would pin her here out of this lineup? I don't really know. So you look at it, it's like I could see them going that route, and then that could kind of delay kind of what's next for Alexa. It gives you a lot of questions in terms of, okay, what's really going on? And you can kind of build her story up after Chamber.
Completely agree. Because I also kind of don't want to see her taking pins here, just because she really hasn't done anything since coming back, and she still is over as can be. So do some Wyatt 6 shenanigans. That would be interesting to me. Have her leave the match. So that literally just leaves Liv Morgan, because I think Bianca and Naomi will be tied up in Jade stuff. I think Alexa Bliss will be tied up in whatever that is. And I think Roxanne and Bayley are going to be tied up together. So that leaves, in my mind, Liv Morgan.
Yeah, the only, I guess, in support of your point, I guess, I don't know a clear-cut women's tag team right now that could go on at Mania to face Liv Morgan and Raquel. So that's maybe a little bit, what do you got? Who do you got sort of thing. Also, at the same time, though, I think the EO stuff and the Rhea stuff, there's going to be some shenanigans where it is going to be a triple threat. So it's either going to be Bianca, EO, Rhea, or Liv, EO, Rhea. One of those things. I think we're both in agreement here.
I think that too.
I think we probably get Bianca penciled in there just so we can get a little bit of a taste of it. Ultimately, I think you have EO take the pin there, unfortunately, at Mania. But you give everybody a little bit of taste of like what could be with Rhea and Bianca down the line. I could see that happening. But at the same time, I don't know what the next plan is for Jade.
Yeah.
With that stuff. I don't know if it's going to be both Bianca and Naomi, because I could see a world where it is just, maybe it's just Naomi.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not both of them.
Yeah.
Maybe Bianca's like, what did you do? Who knows?
Bianca ends up winning, I'm happy.
Yeah.
But if Bianca wins, in my mind, keep EO out of it, then I would just want Bianca, Rhea at WrestleMania.
I would too, but that's why I think they won't give it to us.
Exactly. Exactly. Let's move it on. Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. Good Lord, that's going to be hard for me to say all stream. Versus Nia Jax, Candice LeRae.
Squared.
Yeah, TS squared. How about that? This match is going to be Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus winning. I mean, it's Trish in her hometown in Canada. It's Tiffany Stratton's last prove it moment, like be a strong champion before her big match at WrestleMania with Charlotte. I don't know if Charlotte comes out here. All I know is two things. I know Tiffany is getting the win over Candice LeRae. I think she's going to pin Candice, and I think Trish and Nia are going to set up their Mania fight. Those are my two predictions for this.
That's completely wrong. I think Candice LeRae stacks all three of them and pins them all. Yeah, this one is pretty clear cut, dry. I mean, you're going to get Trish and Nia out of this to Mania, which you predicted correctly a while back. And Candice is there to take the pin. Candice really hasn't done anything. You look at the four women here and you're like, well, one of these things is not like the other three. I know Candice at one point had the Speed Championship, but she's not really to that level. Not saying she's not good in the ring, but she has no stories revolving around her. Tiffany can also, at the end of the day, claim that she was ultimately like the better woman, because remember, Candice and her had that like back and forth kind of thing for Nia's attention or whatever. So yeah, Tiffany here looks strong and just gets the pin on Candice, pretty clear cut. I don't think we get anything Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I don't want any Charlotte Flair stuff. Please don't come out and have Charlotte just like pose over Tiffany or something, or point to the sign or square off in the ring. Like, we don't need any of that. Let's just let this be Tiffany getting a good win, Trish getting a good hometown reunion with the crowd, setting up the Nia stuff for them. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's move on.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of celebration at the end, and maybe you have Nia attack Trish. Yeah. I don't know, something like that.
Works for me. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, unsanctioned match. Who do you got winning this?
Yeah, if you watched our Raw review, I guess it's probably pretty easy to think who I have winning this one. It's Kevin Owens. It's, to me, almost as clear cut as the women's tag match. I think Kevin Owens needs the win here. I think Kevin Owens will get the win here. I think we see a great match here. I think ultimately we see Kevin Owens basically snap and just go a little bit too far. Probably maybe a pile driver, I would say. You don't need 3, 4, 5 of them. Just save one for the ending to me. I really like how they've still kind of saved that in terms of, hey, let's not overuse it. One is enough. I like that. Let's just continue to keep doing that. And then you have eventually Kevin Owens coming out gloating about it after on SmackDown, I would say. And then you get the returning Randy Orton. I would hold off until SmackDown, do that there. Sami Zayn, we talked about it a little bit with our WrestleMania 41 stuff. Like, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of talent. We say for so long, well, there's 2 nights. Well, now we're saying there's only 2 nights because there's so much talent.
Yeah.
I don't really see Sami Zayn having a clear path to WrestleMania. That might be a Raw before, Raw after Karrion Kross type thing, which I'm okay with. But Kevin Owens needs to win here. He needs the momentum, especially going into Mania. He needs to be the star of this match, as he's been for the star of most of his feuds.
Yeah, I agree. This needs to be Kevin Owens. His heel work has been too good, and he had to, bite the bullet for Cody Rhodes. He had to sit there and take multiple losses to Cody, which we all understand, but it didn't hinder him because it was Cody, and it was like, okay, we can also hear and acknowledge that KO is doing amazing work, but he just has to be the food for Cody in the moment. That's not the case here. Sami and KO have the history. This is bloodthirsty, rivalry. I expect them to fight all over the building. They may even go into the streets of Canada. I'm not sure. This may be something that starts in the driveway beforehand, and they fight all day long, and they end up in the ring. I expect blood. I expect all the most dangerous moves that they can do. They're going to be dropping each other on their heads all the time. But I do see this ending with a pile driver that takes a pile driver that takes Sami Zayn out of Mania. I don't think Sami makes Mania. I think this is one way in how you get one of the, spots filled in terms of like, okay, well, not everybody can make this card. Sami Zayn, unfortunately, I think gets that. But then my big prediction here is that not only does it end with Kevin Owens pile driving Sami and getting the win, I think we end the feud that night with Randy Orton returning and punting the shit out of Kevin Owens. If KO is going to bring back the pile driver, it's time for Randy Orton to bring back the punt. What better way to make a resounding return? That's my prediction.
So you got that happening at Chamber.
Oh, yeah.
You got the punt at Chamber.
Oh, yeah.
The punt hurled around the world. Okay. My only thing is I would probably hold off on that because of the drama-filled soap opera, what is this men's elimination chamber, that I would hold off and be like, Randy, he's talked about it before, like with CM Punk. Hey, can you not just give me my return for a little bit? So I would say give Randy that on SmackDown. He can come out and punt him on SmackDown. That's fine with me.
Fair.
Maybe to your point of pile driver, maybe they fight into a little fantasy booking galore here. One of those little like Airbnb prop houses. It's Kevin Owens' house.
Yes.
Why not?
Holy shit, babe.
Why not?
What if they do start this fight at somebody's house? KO,
he pulls up in the driveway.
The show starts with like Sami packing his car to go to the chamber, and then KO just pops out of the trunk, hits him with a chair.
Yeah, why not?
Oh my god,
why
yes,
not?
let's do that.
I do miss some of the cinematic stuff. So why not do that?
Oh,
that'd be cool.
This is going to be the weirdest part of the night, by far. The weirdest part of Elimination Chamber is bound to be Cody Rhodes and The Rock. And Cody Rhodes deciding on whether or not he wants The Rock to take his soul. What in the world's going to happen here?
Well, I don't think anybody wants their soul to be taken. I think that answers the question right there. I think if you're any sane human being, you're like, yeah, no, I don't want that. That doesn't sound very cool. I think we get Cody maybe cutting some little quick promo about how he's above this or whatever. And then The Rock's like, okay, understood. I don't think we get anything physical here. I don't think we get any sort of altercation. I think we get The Rock kind of just nodding. I think, as Triple H once famously said, there's always a plan B, right? So I think The Rock's got a plan B up his sleeve here, up his, final boss. I don't know. He always wears cool.
Non-sleeve.
Yeah, non-sleeve cutoff thing, I guess. I think that's all we get, though. I don't think we get a lot here. I think we get some very subtle stuff. I would say it's probably better than the promo work we saw on SmackDown when this originally happened, but a little bit more Cody talking, an emphatic no, and then just like okay.
Yeah, I don't think Cody is going to sell his soul to the devil, aka The Rock here. I think that it's going to feel a lot like the SmackDown thing. I think that The Rock's going to drag it. It's going to be a long segment. I think that Cody is going to say no to The Rock. And then I'm with you. I don't think it gets physical. I don't think we get a rock bottom or we get a crossroads or anything like that. I think The Rock's just going to kind of shake his hand and kind of give him like a very passive aggressive, like, I'll see you in the future type deal. I'm sad that we can't get this deal done, but business is business, and I'm going to get it done one way, shape, or form. And then that's going to set us up to whatever the hell happens in the future with whatever the hell happens in Elimination Chamber, right? So I think it's going to be a crazy segment. It's going to be weird. It's going to set up a bunch of story, but I do think Cody walks away without selling his soul to the devil yet.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those moments in a video game where you're geared up for this boss, and then the boss is like, "Hey, you know what? Actually, yeah, don't worry about this." And you're like, "Why would they say that? Why would they? They got something. They got something planned, right? Like, I know that this isn't just. I'm not just getting off this easily, right? So definitely something like that. And like you said, the real magic happens, I would assume, after this in the main event, and there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, we're gonna have like a what if biggest questions video about podcast going deeper into like conspiracy theories revolving Elimination Chamber. So there is some more
It's always fun.
conspiracy things to talk about when it comes to the Cody Rock segment. But in terms of predictions, I think that those are two good ones that we got. But let's move it on to the main event. The reason that we're coming to Elimination Chamber. The men's chamber, we got Punk, we got Cena, we got Rollins, we got McIntyre, we got Damian Priest, and we got Logan Paul. So who do you got winning the men's Elimination Chamber match?
I'm sticking with it. I've said it since day one, and I'm sitting by it. He's on the poster. You got to give it to me one more time. Give me John Cena. I think you have the Damian Drew stuff kind of happening, even though that was also kind of like reported it was going to happen, but it's kind of been some pushback, so maybe we don't get it, but probably some canceling out there. You got Rollins and Punk with some drama here, but then you also got maybe Roman Reigns potentially some way, somehow, shape, or form. You also got CM Punk and Logan Paul. Everybody's kind of got a whole bunch of stuff, and then you got John Cena just kind of standing out on the outside like, well, I just want to win this so I can go to WrestleMania. Everybody else has a bunch of storylines, and I know you can make a story out of this for Mania. But I mean, come on. You got to give it to me. I've built it up so much in my head that even if it doesn't make sense, I'd be like, yeah, you know what? Give it to John. I don't care. So yeah, I'm going down with the ship.
You know, if CM Punk hadn't been pointing at the sign so damn much and talking about how his path is so clear and my road is right there and I'm going to do this every single week, I would have probably picked CM Punk to do it. But since then, he's gotten into confrontations with Cody Rhodes, which seems a little bit too, straightforward for me. And then Logan Paul stuff. I mean, he's got a bunch of stuff going on there. Then you have Seth Rollins and the Roman Reigns and CM Punk stuff that happened at Royal Rumble. You got Damian Priest. You got Drew McIntyre. Yeah, I would rather die than see Logan Paul win this damn thing. So I'm going with my GOAT. John Cena's going to win the Elimination Chamber. He's going to go on to fight Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Do I think that he wins or not? I don't know, but I'm just happy that I think John Cena is going to win this one.
Yeah, that's a prediction for another time, and we can see how they kind of build that sort of thing. But everybody, WWE's done such a good job about this person interacting with this person and this person and this person, and it's like, okay, well, Damian and Drew, but then Drew, Rollins, Punk, Drew, Logan Paul. Logan Paul's kind of on the outside as well. I do think we get Logan Paul pinning CM Punk. I would say that. I would say probably Damian Priest probably pinning Drew McIntyre as well. I think you get Rollins getting pinned. I guess Punk maybe pins Rollins. I don't know about the Rollins. Well, I guess that's probably the route I would go with Rollins. He's a little bit interesting because I think we're all banking on some sort of Roman stuff.
Yeah.
But that's also at the same time, it's kind of like the boogeyman, right? Like Roman doesn't always show up. I get it. We're all kind of counting on him, but what if we don't get that,
Yeah.
So I don't really know there. At the end of the day, I got to go with the gut. I got to go with the heart. I got to go with John.
Yeah, I have Drew pinning Damian is what I have. I have Drew pinning Damian because obviously Damian got rid of Drew at the Royal Rumble, so I think this is the 1-1 moment that we need to go into WrestleMania with each other. Who pins Drew? I don't know. He gets rolled up every other week. So I feel like that's going to happen one way, shape, or form. He may pin John Cena because he called out John Cena today on Twitter. He said that everybody's been backing away from calling out John Cena because Cena was pulling some reverse psychology at the post Royal Rumble interview where he said, "Well, I'm gone for the next month. Let everybody roast me on the mic," and nobody's done it. So Drew came out today and was like, you know what? No, I'm going to roast this damn old man for not showing up. So I think Cena might get a roll-up pin on Drew McIntyre and kind of pop there. But I do see Logan Paul being the last one in the Elimination Chamber, just like how I see Roxanne being the last one in the first one, kind of like call back to the Rumble a little bit. But I think Seth Rollins does get interfered with Roman in some way, shape, or form. It could be something as simple as Paul Heyman coming out. I don't know. Something's going to happen, especially now that they just trademarked the final chief or whatever it is. So I think something's going to happen there. And that'll lead to CM Punk probably pinning him. And then I think Punk does get pinned by Logan Paul, like you said. And that leaves Logan Paul and John Cena. And I think John Cena will end up pinning Logan Paul. But also, if you have them be the last two, you do get to set up some form of match between them that we are going to get sometime during this farewell tour. It's going to happen. Yeah. God forbid it's at Mania, but you can at least give us a little taste of that right then at the end of Elimination Chamber. But Cena, my goat, bro.
Well, luckily, if it's just those two at the end, we're not going to get it at Mania one way or another, right?
Right.
So we're good there.
Yeah, I'll just take it.
So we're good.
Yeah. If Logan Paul wins, I'll just jump out the window.
I do think we do have Paul Heyman, something simple like that. Because you could also play the Punk thing where Punk said maybe they think it's the favor, but maybe it's not really the favor.
Yeah.
And so we all think that's the favor, but it's not. I'm still a big advocate for that. I think that's going to happen. And then like you said, I think it all kind of goes out that way. And then at the end of the day, I mean, you think about it. You said out loud, John Cena, Logan Paul. Everybody's going to be rooting for Cena. The amount of near falls and don't do this, please don't do this. Like that's going to be good.
I think
I'm going to have to prepare for it, and I'm still going to get fooled.
I think no matter who wins the Elimination Chamber, even if they pull a fastball on us and say, God, Damian Priest wins, I don't know, but Logan Paul is the last one in. I think Logan Paul takes the last pin because you are going to want the fans to sit there and be like, everybody in this arena is voting for the other guy. You are guaranteeing yourself a pop, no matter who it is. If it's up against Logan Paul as the final two, the entire arena wants to see everybody who's not Logan Paul win. I mean, freaking Rhea Ripley can come out, join the Elimination Chamber, win that match, and
the ref could insert himself. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Pat McAfee. There we go. Somebody, anybody, please. And that's going to be great.
Anyway, I think the Elimination Chamber is going to be phenomenal. It's clouded in questions, and we could be completely wrong because I understand that there are probably 4 heavy favorites here, and WWE could pull an absolute swerve out of nowhere, and it could not be Liv, it could not be Bianca, it could not be Cena, it could not be Punk. So crazy stuff can ensue, and of course, The Rock is going to be there. So who the hell knows what could happen there? Yeah. I mean, everything.
That's a whole nother video.
It is. Speaking of that, be looking out for that tomorrow because we're going to be releasing our biggest questions / what if for Elimination Chamber, where we dive deeper into all the conspiracy theories and fun fantasy booking of it all. So I can't wait for that. But follow us on all of our socials at COD WrestlePod, COD WrestlePod. Listen to us wherever you get podcasts at YouTube, Spotify, Apple, etc. And if you want to come talk to us, of course, join our live streams for Raw, SmackDown, and PLEs on YouTube. And then, of course, all of our links are in our link tree in our bio, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. So come comment on that. But I'm Will. That's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. We will see you next time.